5 News at Noon starts now.
Continuing coverage today on the tragedy at Devil's Den State Park, where police say a man attacked a couple while they were hiking with their 2 young daughters on Saturday. The husband and wife were found dead on a trail at the park, and police say their daughters escaped without injuries. Now, police have not confirmed yet if they believe this was a random or a targeted attack or said exactly how this happened. But this afternoon, the manhunt continues for the person who killed the parents. This is a photo of the couple, 43-year-old Clinton Brink and 41-year-old Kristen Brink. State police say they had recently moved to Prairie Grove, Arkansas from out of state. And police say the Brink's daughters, ages 7 and 9, were not injured and they're now safe with family. The focus of the investigation right now is finding the suspect. Police are hoping that someone out there may have a tip that could lead them to him. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi has what police have shared about the person they're looking for so far.
The Arkansas State Police have taken the lead on this investigation, and they're working with local, state, and federal agencies to pursue any leads that might help them in tracking down the man they believe killed Kristen and Clinton Brink at Devil's Den State Park on Saturday. According to police, the suspect is described as a white male with a medium build. He was last seen wearing a long-sleeve shirt, dark pants, a dark ball cap, and sunglasses. Investigators say he was also carrying a backpack and wearing fingerless gloves. Arkansas State Police add that the suspect was seen driving a black 4-door sedan toward a nearby park exit. Now, officials say the description of the suspect was taken from witness statements and not photos or videos. We also know that the Arkansas State Parks have increased law enforcement across the state's parks in response to the killings. 5 News spoke with one park goer who says she was shocked when she was told that they were okay to keep hiking despite the search for the suspect continuing.
We asked the 3 different park rangers if we were safe and if we needed to be worried about anything, and 2 of them not only told us we were safe but directed us to different trails to continue hiking. Come to find out, as we were listening to the latest news segment that you guys posted, that all the trails are closed now and that they've shut down the park. It's just concerning that we were directed to keep hiking and told it was safe right after 2 people were murdered.
ASP has issued a call to action. They're asking park goers and area residents to share any information, photo, or videos they may have of the suspect with them directly. In Lowell, covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
Thanks, Jacob. And ASP is asking anyone who visited Devil's Den on Saturday, as Jacob mentioned, to check any photos and videos they took for images of the suspect. And they're also asking people who live nearby to check any security cameras or game cameras you may have. If you find any information that might help, call ASP Troop L. That's their number right there on your screen, 479-751-6663. The secretary who oversees the state park system released this statement reacting to the tragedy, saying the safety of the park's visitors and staff are their top priority right now. They're working closely with state police and other law enforcement agencies investigating that deadly attack. And just to recap one more time what we know about the person police are looking for, they say they believe it's a white man with a medium build who left the park Saturday afternoon in a black 4-door sedan with the plates covered with either duct tape or electrical tape. And again, they're asking people who were in the park that day or live nearby to check their photos and camera footage. And again, while he was in the park, police believe the man was wearing a long sleeve shirt with the sleeves rolled up, dark pants, dark ball cap, sunglasses, and fingerless gloves. We'll continue following updates on those investigations around the clock, bring you any developments as they come into our newsroom on 5 News Plus. To learn how to download it to your smart TV, just text the word plus to the number at the bottom of your screen, 479-785-5000.
Well, here's a look at your forecast, and we're taking a look at the temperatures across the area. Notice there are some clouds in the sky, just like yesterday, so that's keeping things kind of around partly cloudy conditions, but the heat, it's not really getting rid of that. Here and there at times, if you're outdoors, it's going to feel a little bit better, but feels like 97 in Bentonville. Fort Smith feels like 104, a little bit less cloud coverage out there, so those temperatures are going to be a little bit higher, so it's another scorcher out there across the region. Let's take a look at the temperatures across across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Currently right around the upper 80s northwest Arkansas into the lower 90s for the River Valley. But this is going to show the actual story. It feels a lot hotter, especially in the I-40 corridor. There are some heat advisories and extreme heat warnings for the River Valley this afternoon, so protect yourself from the heat. It's one of those things where it's going to be so consistent going forward that just assume it's going to be hot and humid in the afternoon. So dress in breathable clothing, light colors, and make sure that you're staying hydrated. We'll have more details on that coming up.
Thanks, Joshua. And Sallisaw police are searching for a man believed to be part of a shooting. They say he should be considered armed and dangerous. Todd Smith is wanted on multiple charges, including assault and battery. Here's the photo that police have shared of him. Sallisaw police say on Sunday they were called to a home on Maple Street where a person had been shot. They say they identified Smith as a suspect. Later in the day, they executed a search warrant at his home near Redwood and Hickory Streets. He wasn't home then and has not been found since. The person who was shot has been treated and released from the hospital. And today, police say they're still actively searching for Smith. Again, he's considered armed and dangerous. Police say do not approach him. If you see him or you know where he is, please call Sallisaw Police. Well, developing out of South Arkansas, the search for 18-year-old Braden Roberson from Camden, who you see pictured right here, has now turned into a homicide investigation. Roberson was last seen Thursday night in Camden. The Ouachita County Sheriff tells the Camden News 3 people have been arrested in the case. Their names have not been released. Authorities also say they're still searching for Roberson's body. Well, President Trump sat down with the British Prime Minister today at Trump's golf club in Scotland. Russia's war on Ukraine, Gaza, and trade were all on the agenda. It comes as the Trump administration is touting a new trade deal with the European Union. Natalie Brand has the details.
Well, I want them to make sure
President Trump is hosting British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at his Turnberry Golf Club in Scotland, where the focus Monday shifted to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
We have to get to that ceasefire and we have to increase humanitarian aid.
We're going to set up food centers, and we're going to do it in conjunction with some very good people, and other nations are joining us. I know your nation's joining us.
On Ukraine, President Trump told reporters he will likely reduce the 50-day deadline he gave Russian President Vladimir Putin for a ceasefire deal, threatening tougher new sanctions.
I'm going to make a new deadline of about 10 or 12 days from today. There's no reason in waiting.
Today's meeting follows one Sunday between Trump and the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, where they announced a trade deal between the U.S. and EU.
All of the countries will be opened up to trade with the United States at zero tariff.
President Trump said the tariff rate for most imported goods from the 27 EU member countries would be 15%, including autos. He also said the EU agreed to purchase U.S. military equipment, $750 billion of U.S. energy, and invest $600 billion in other sectors.
It will bring stability. It will bring predictability.
The breakthrough came with the White House's Friday tariff deadline quickly approaching and still no deals in place with other top trading partners, including Canada and Mexico. This week, the Trump administration is also meeting for a third round of talks with China.
Whether there's room for an extension, I can't say at this point, but the conversations are constructive and they're going in the right direction.
The 90-day tariff truce between China and the U.S. reached in May is set to expire in about 2 weeks. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Millions and millions of cars.
This comes as
Mercedes,
President Trump
BMW.
has been diagnosed with a benign and common vein condition known as chronic venous insufficiency. This occurs when veins in the legs struggle to bring blood back up to the heart. Doctors say the 79-year-old president remains in excellent overall health. Well, 11 people are recovering after a terrifying stabbing attack at a Walmart in Michigan over the weekend. Dramatic video shows bystanders holding the suspect in the parking lot until police arrived. Lana Zach is at the scene in Traverse City.
Throw the knife that way! This is the moment shoppers at a Traverse City Walmart surrounded the man suspected of stabbing 11 people Saturday afternoon. One bystander armed with a pistol, another using a shopping cart.
Advising of a mass attack at Walmart in Traverse City.
According to law enforcement, officers arrived on the scene within 3 minutes of receiving 911 calls and arrested the suspect, who they've identified as 42-year-old Bradford James Gilley. They allege he used this folding knife and acted alone.
There was a lot of blood on the ground and actively seeing people bleeding.
Julia Martell was at Walmart with a friend shopping for diapers and formula when the chaos unfolded. At first, she thought she was just witnessing an intense argument.
There was just some guy shoving another guy in my head until he started to kind of face me and run in my direction. And that's when I saw the knife in his hand.
What did you do?
I ran, I booked it down the aisleway, I dropped everything that was in my hand.
Martell says as she made her way to the exit, she saw several people with stab wounds, including at least one elderly person slumped over in a motorized shopping cart. Then police swarmed in.
Mr. Gilley's history shows prior assaultive incidents as well as controlled substance violations. A motive has not yet been determined.
Grand Traverse County Sheriff Michael Shea told us he was impressed by the people who intervened before law enforcement even arrived.
They were actually utilizing numbers and their available resources to get this individual in a position where he couldn't get away. I say kudos all day long, and not just one, multiple people. That speaks a lot for our community.
In many ways, this is really a story about people taking action. The sheriff told me that even before first responders got here, witnesses were rendering aid. Now, as for that suspect, he has been charged in addition to terrorism with 11 counts of assault with intent to murder. He may be arraigned as early as today. Lana Zach, CBS News, Traverse City, Michigan.